Hi boys and girls, it's your friendly neighborhood Rave here, saying hello. We're going to try something new here. I'm at a point right now as a creator where I feel like I'm kind of reaching a really interesting stride. And I want to start documenting it a lot more. I want to give people the context to understand what I'm about to release. The context with which to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I'm doing what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. And I think it'll make the puzzle pieces, the songs, come together in a lot more of a cohesive kind of way. I want to explain what's going on up in here, and I was thinking about how I wanted to do it, and I wanted it to be kind of like a confessional, you know. One of the things that really kind of inspired this was the last video, which was obviously of a heavier topic. By posting that video at the end of the year, what happened was, as I mentioned, I got this influx of just first-hand accounts. And it was scary and moving and powerfully just overwhelming that I knew I couldn't not do something. That kind of segues into this video, which is, again, very different video than the last one. I want to talk to you guys about something that I had a close experience with. And it was something that was really scary. Before we start, I would like to ask you to hit the like button down below so that we could appease the YouTube algorithm gods and whatnot. Keep my channel up and stuff. You know how it goes. So today I want to talk about something that I think affects a lot of people, but particularly I know for a fact it affects a lot of musicians, and that is tinnitus. Tinnitus is a pretty big deal. A lot of big time musicians, artists, suffer with tinnitus, and essentially what it is it's a constant non-stop ringing in one's ear. There's so many artists, so many musicians. Pete Townsend, there's Al Di Meola. There's more. There are more. I know that there are more. I can't remember off the top of my... You know what? Hold on. Let's see. Artists with tinnitus. Okay, so Eric Clapton, Phil Collins, Pete Townsend, Barbra Streisand, Ozzy Osbourne, Chris Martin from Coldplay, Steve Martin. That's funny, Chris Martin, Steve Martin. Sting. Oh man. Lars Ulrich, Anthony Kiedis, Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, Mick Fleetwood, Moby, Bob Dylan, Liam Gallagher, Brian Johnson. I think he had to quit AC/DC because of that. Tinnitus is caused by super loud noises that your ear is just not either ready for or is just not designed to even experience. I'm not going to pretend like I know the science of it. I didn't read up on it that much because it's kind of scary, especially when you're a musician, especially when you're playing live. Your job is to kind of be around loud noises. But now let's go into my quick story with potentially ruining my hearing and how that was a life-changing moment for me. Let's go back to the younger years when I'd go to shows, rock shows, and we'd go crazy in the pits and have a great time, walk out of the concert, and just everything would kind of sound like, it would kind of sound like this. Just take your hands and just squeeze your ears right now. It would just sound like that. You'd hear your friends. Everything would just be weird, and there'd be this silent noise. It would just sound like somebody stuffed cotton balls in your ears or whatever. That's your ears experiencing damage and trauma. Not good. Not good at all. When I read up on this, I was like, oh, it might be a good idea to not experience that. There's that old saying that a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Listen, if I want to be a musician, you don't have to tell me twice that protecting my ears is a good idea. And so I started investing in styrofoam earplugs. As a matter of fact, I still have some. And these styrofoam earplugs, as you can see from the directions, are fairly simple to use, and I believe it says right here, 32 decibels. Can block 32 decibels of loud audio noise. So for the longest time, I'd get packs of foam earplugs. So fast forward a couple of years later, Spells and Curses is sort of just getting its feet wet in the live music scene, and we started playing the show at this venue called the Delancey. It was one of those situations where we didn't have enough time to properly set up our gear. It was kind of okay, that band's gonna go off. You just run up on there, do your thing, and then you get the heck off. So we had to rush through the setup process. While we were doing that, for some reason, I was just in a great mood too. It was a great day. I looked out in the audience, feeling myself, and then I looked over at my bass player, and I'm like, hey, are you wearing earplugs for this? I don't know why I asked him, but he's like, nah. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And then it was so stupid because, again, I at this point I've been wearing earplugs for a while. So much so that I was taking for granted how protective of my ears they have been this whole time. Meaning I forgot that, oh yeah, by the way, the cymbals and the drums are literally right behind me. My amp is literally right behind me. The bass amp is right there. The monitors, it's so stupid. It was so stupid. Long story short, we played that set. It was great, but then my ear started to hurt. Mid-set. Ugh. Talking about that just brings back terrible memories. Not because of the show. The show went off great. Even the after party was fine. What happened later that night after the party was done was I just couldn't stop this ringing in my ear. It was like this. If you ever had like a mosquito zip by your ear, you know the sound I'm talking about. Just imagine that sound of the mosquito, but like at a constant tone, nonstop. What I did was I put some earplugs in, figuring that might help, and I went to sleep. Next morning, I wake up. Now it's not going away. Now I'm freaking out that, my career's over. I didn't even really start it. I was worried. I was panicking. So I went to my ear, nose, throat doctor, and he was great. I asked him for his professional advice, and he told me something that kind of sucked to hear, which was, you probably did do some damage, but the only way we could know if it's permanent or not is if you just wait and see. And that's like the last thing you want to hear. You want to know how to treat it or how to make the situation less intense. You don't want to wait it out. So I went home with my styrofoam earplugs thinking that it might help, just keeping them in there. Really sad. I mean, there's worse things in the world, sure, but and this is why it ties into the last video. I found out that there was a recent study done where they found out that 10% of people who reported having a condition with tinnitus, 10% of those people committed suicide. Can you imagine how that right there is so scary? Like hearing a sound, a tone in your ear that you can't do nothing about, and it keeps you up at night. You can't go to sleep, and it's driving you so mad that you end your own life. God forbid. That is terrible. One thing that got me through was that I was spending a lot of time with my mom. She just has a very healing energy to be around, and just being around her kind of calmed me down, and thankfully it did go away. It made such a scary and lasting impression on me that I was like, never again. So I always had these bad boys with me all the time. Now, Spells and Curses is ramping up. We're doing more shows. We're playing more shows. These earplugs, they're good. They're protecting me. However, I listened back to the tape because I record every one of our shows. I listened back to it and I'm like, in practice, I hit that note. I couldn't hear that note because obviously it's a different PA system, different room. I can't really hear myself when I sing. I can't really hear the room that I'm singing to because it's muffled by my earplugs. These earplugs are good. They're great. But they're too good, right? In that they have no give. The sound quality isn't a meaningful and accurate representation of what I'm doing. And that was something that was messing me up during live shows because I missed notes that I usually hit no problem. And so I went on the search. For earplugs that essentially give me the best of both worlds, right? Protect my ears and give me an accurate depiction of what the sound is. Now, I had 3 criteria, right? One is that it had to obviously protect my hearing significantly. I didn't want to sacrifice my ear safety just to improve the sound quality of what I was hearing. No way. So it had to be safe. Number 2, it had to have enough, I don't know what the word is, but give is what I say. It has to have enough give so that the actual sound that I'm producing, the closest sort of representation of that comes through. Not have it be all muffled out. I want to hear the actual tone. Quick note, as a singer, if you're singing in a room, especially with a PA, you not only need to sort of sing and hear yourself through the resonance in your own head, you need to hear yourself in the room. You need to hear the room. You need to hear the reflection off the room because that's going to help you obviously hear your key better and your pitch. So with styrofoam, again, it has no give. It's like literally, this is your ear, styrofoam was like that. And the last criteria I was looking for was I needed something that was big because I'm not going to show you my ears, but I have big ear holes. Ear holes? Ears? Ear hole? I don't know what they're called, but basically whatever this part of your ear is where it goes, there's a hole in your ear, I have big ear holes. I guess they're called ear holes. I don't know. I remember purchasing mushroom looking earplugs where they're kind of like Christmas tree looking stuff, and I just put them in and they would all just fall out. I honestly feel like those foam earplugs stretched out my ear hole. Hilarious. Regardless, I had to stay vigilant. I had to keep looking, and that's what I did. Somehow, lo and behold, I came across a little something called Vibes. Now, these bad boys, in my opinion, are a game changer. And they're a game changer for those 3 reasons, the 3 criteria that I was looking for. They hit them all without sacrificing quality of anything. Again, if you recall, the first criteria was it had to protect my ears. It had to protect my hearing. Standard foam earplug protects 32 decibels of noise. Essentially what Vibes is, are high fidelity earplugs. These protect 15. All right? 15 might sound like it's not a lot, but trust me, it gets the job done. Your ears never hurt, and they can protect your ears in a lot of different situations. On their website, they wrote, the average concert produces 98 to 110 decibels, and music at these decibel levels can result in hearing loss in less than 30 minutes. Hold the phone. Foam earplugs have been sort of the standard, certainly my standard for ear protection for the longest time. Now, as a singer, as a performer, I needed to hear what I was doing outside of my own head cavity. I needed to hear the room. And you know what? I wanted to enjoy the music too. I wanted to hear the awesomeness. Now, the way these guys do it is they have what's called sound enhancing filters, which increase sound clarity and balance. And I don't know if you can see this little graphic up top right there. That basically shows you essentially the design of these earplugs. They're kind of like little tubes that have like filters in them. These filters are then put on with the earbud itself. And then they go in, they're clear, see-through, transparent. Nobody will even see that you have them in there. But that's point 2, right? I get the quality of the sound. Not 100%. It's not 100% clear. But it's clear enough for me to actually hear my tone when I'm singing, as well as the tone of the room, while still protecting my ears. And last but not least, the reason why I went with them is because they come in 3 sizes. Remember we were talking about the filter and the earbud? They come in 3 different earbud sizes. I think they were small, medium, and large. Naturally, I went with large, and they were a wonderful fit. I think these guys are such game changers now that a lot of new earplug companies and even old earplug companies are now offering different size options as well. I've gone to weddings, bars, I've put them on during certain dates. I've gone to shows, and I've played my own shows with my Vibes in. Well, actually, let me show you what they look like. Oh. Let me clean this a little bit. It's got some ear gunk on it. I mean, that's as clean as it's gonna get. These are basically it. Do you go to a lot of concerts? Are you a singer? Which again, I think these are the best earplugs for singers. Outside of getting custom molded earplugs, or rather monitors, in-ear monitors, you can't beat this. And what's really cool and why I love Vibes, they're in partnership with Hear the World Foundation. Basically every pair of Vibes that are purchased go on to help fund projects that provide hearing aids to people, provide education about hearing loss and treatments. It's so freaking cool. So yeah, they care about your hearing. So I know what you're thinking. These are incredible. They're great high fidelity earplugs. I love them. Where can I get some? Well, boys and girls, children of all ages, you'd be happy to know that your boy The Rave got his first sponsored video. That's right, I'm officially a YouTuber now. Thank you, thank you. The kind folks at Vibes have partnered with me to bring you guys a 15% discount and free shipping if you're within the United States to get your own pair of Vibes. I included their link below in the description. Full disclosure, I've had a few opportunities to have my video sponsored by quite a number of products in the music realm. These are the only ones that I can confidently sort of like get behind 110% because A, they work, B, they're incredible, C, the company donates to an incredible cause, and D, I set up a D, so I feel like I should deliver on the D. And D for discount, right? You get 15% off, free shipping if you insert the code SPELLS in the checkout. That's right, children. You get 15% off and free shipping if you order your pair of Vibes from the link attached down below in the description. So let me know what you guys think. Have you guys ever had bouts of tinnitus? Have you ever come out of a concert having your ears ringing and muffled out like hell? If you did, we've kind of all been there, but that's not a good thing at all. And are you looking to change that up by protecting your hearing? If so, you might as well protect your hearing with the best product out there. Buy it once and buy it right. This is my second pair. That's right, I have 2 pairs of Vibes because that's how essential they are to my life, not only my profession. Again, I have my pair on me at all times because you never know when you might spontaneously run into a friend who might want to go to a bar, etc., especially if you live in New York. It's a long story. But that's it for today, guys. I don't usually sort of put my weight behind any kind of product unless I really love it. and I really love those vibes. So I think that's about it. That's about all I got for this week. This is good. Was this good? Let me know if this was good. As always, guys, if you watched this far, thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. It's your boy The Rave saying music coming soon, I think. No, it is. It is. I'm working. I promise. I'm just kind of hard on myself sometimes. But it's okay. You'll get new music soon. Bye.